Good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to this 11th Aditya-L1 Support Cell Workshop, jointly organized by Pondicherry University, the Indian Space Research Organization, and the Aryabhatta Research Institute of Observational Sciences. We are honored to have with us today our distinguished guests and speakers, whose presence adds a great value to this workshop. I now welcomed our esteemed dignitaries, the guest of honor, Professor Shankar Subramanian, Head Space and Astronomy Group, URSC ISRO. Professor Sibna Dem, Dean, School of Physical, Chemical and Applied Sciences. I invite Professor Prakash Babu, Honorable Vice Chancellor and Patron, Pondicherry University. I invite Professor Alok Sharan Sir, Head Department of Physics and Convener Aditya-L1 Workshop, and Dr. KVP Lata, SOC and POC Aditya-L1 Workshop.
So, good morning to one and all, and a very warm welcome on this occasion of workshop on the 11th Aditya-L1 workshop. And it gives me immense pleasure to extend this warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Prakash Babu, our Dean, I think who is on the way, and Chairman of the workshop, Professor Shivnath Deb, our Head of the Department and Convener, Professor Alok Sharan, our today's guest of honor, Professor K. Shankar Subramanian from ISRO, URSC, Bangalore, and all the distinguished faculty members of the Department of Physics. I also heartily welcome our resource persons from ARIES and ISRO, Dr. Vaibhav, Dr. Krishna Prasad, Dr. Sanmay Bandyopadhyay, and a few of the resource persons who will be joining online, Dr. Jacob and Dr. Abhishek, to handle the sessions. So a special welcome to all the student participants and delegates who have traveled from different parts of the country, different institutions, to be a part of this exciting events. So we would proceed with the inaugural session now. I request, to begin the inaugural proceedings, I will request Professor Alok Sharan, the convener of the workshop and head of the Department of Physics, Pondicherry University, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Prakash Babu, Professor K. Shankar Subramanian, Head SAG Group ISRO, Professor Lata, my dear colleagues, all the participants who have come all over India to participate in this dedicated workshop of L1 Aditya Support Cell, and my other colleagues. I give a warm welcome to you to this workshop. Just we start, I thought it's my duty to tell us what our department is catering into. Before that, I just want to thank Professor Lata and Professor K. Shankar Subramanian to actually initiating this idea of having this workshop here, and that's why we have gathered. So 6 months back, this process started, and we are here finally. So thank you for that. So, Department of Physics, Pondicherry University, we have about 22 faculty members and diverse group ranging from computational physics. Computational physics also is a wide area, as you are aware of, both fluid dynamics, DFT, that is density function theory, then your ab initio calculations, along with computational electromagnetics. Besides that, the experimental core area is on the spintronics, magnetism, and magnetic materials. We have different aspects of material science faculties in our department, including optical material, then electronic materials, nonlinear optics, quantum information, neuroscience, high energy physics, nuclear physics, plasma physics, both theory and experiments. So we have wide area of expertise within our department, which the student is exposed to in this cutting edge research. So as a result, we are able to offer 4 specializations in our MSc program: astrophysics, condensed matter, electronics, and laser physics. Astrophysics program is jointly run with the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore. And we have been running this program under the MOU, and it's working well for us. So I'm very proud to say that our faculty members, 3 of our current faculty members, are also in the top 2% of the Stanford World Scientists listed here, who are currently among the 22. So it's a really good achievement for our department. To share further, there was some interesting announcement which I wanted to share, that last week I learned that one of our students, who is also now MSc in physics student, a member of the astronomy club, Pondicherry University, won the bronze medal at International Astronomy and Astrophysics competition conducted by I think, International Astronomical Union based in Germany. There were some few rounds of quizzes and other things which he participated in. Eventually, it's a global competition, among which I was very proud to know that he actually won the competition. His name is Mr. K. Naidruvan. And further, the Astronomy Club of Pondicherry University is also proud to tell us that 2 of the 5 members who were shortlisted after the what is called as the initial preliminary discovery of the asteroid campaign, which was started in September 24, 5 were shortlisted. Out of that, 2 have been further went on to what is called as provisional selection. So 2 groups from the Pondicherry University and majority of them were all astrophysics students, have been also their findings, like means I think astrophysics community knows that there's a dearth, a lot of data is there available in the public site, and this campaign was started to identify which among those things are asteroids, and it's like a asteroid hunting, identifying campaign. So our club members participate, and one group by Ananya, Sarmishta and Rachna was one, and the second group, Anup, Chaitanya, Janvi, Naidruvan, Niveda and Subindev, have qualified to the next level of what is called as provisional. So what I understand is after 5 or 6 years of intense study, if those asteroids are identified, we'll have the honor of being named or discovered by our own young amateur scientist. So these are the activities, why I mentioned, because they are all astronomy related. We do have a small program, but mostly concentrated at the master's level program. So research level, of course, Professor Lata is coordinating research in the astrophysics area. So hopefully this program will help us to boost up more, because we have some local participants who are our MSc astrophysics students. They may take the cue and move forward into the solar physics, which is essentially the focus of your this workshop. So I invite all of you to welcome as and when you have free time from the workshop to visit our department, see our state-of-the-art facility in different areas which I mentioned. And also we have a great campus which you can spend evening here. And Pondicherry, of course, you know, it's a great tourist place. If the weather is not, if rains doesn't hinder your progress, I think this is the best time to move around and see the places also. So I welcome all of the members in this hall for this workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Anu, for a very nice brief introduction about our department and the activities. Now I would like to invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Prakash Babu, for giving the inaugural address.
Very good morning, all of you. Guests on the dais, Professor Shankar Subramaniam from ISRO, my colleagues sitting on the dais, Professor Alok Sharan, Head Department of Physics and convener of the Aditya-L1 workshop, another colleague, Professor KVP Lata, SOC and POC, Aditya-L1 workshop, other faculty colleagues sitting in the audience, speakers, invited guests, student participants, and the media colleagues on the room. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be part of this inaugural session of the workshop. Few days back, I have visited the School of Physical and Chemical Sciences, wherein Professor Alok presented the department profile and the departmental activities and all. I am quite impressed with that. And we have the lot of unique features in the department, and the programs that you have been offering and specializations, there are 4 specializations he mentioned, are the very sought after in the field of physics. Another interesting aspect is the astrophysics area that people are working on trying to identify the asteroids and naming them. I think this is the 11th Aditya-L1 Science Support Cell Workshop being organized in Pondicherry University. So I congratulate all the participants, those who are shortlisted for this, because for 2 reasons. One is the workshop has the very good name across the country, as they have been organizing meticulously, systematically to attract the students across the country. And also, the Puducherry is a beautiful place. Those who have come from the outside, you definitely will fall in love with the place. And especially, when people would like to see the space, it's a fascinating. Dr. Abdul Kalam, he wrote in one of his books, when he was child, he used to go to the shore side of the Kanyakumari and he used to play. But like any other child, they play. But this man, seriously sitting and observing how the birds are flying, and how the birds are flying, and how they are acting, and how they are again coming back to the waters, and again jumping and all. So, from that actually he got inspiration, he got from that, and he wanted to make something which can go into the space. Of course, now you know what was he and all. So these are all even all of us must be flying in the flights, but still it is fascinating to me how the flight is flying like a bird. So unless you notice such a kind of small observations, actually science starts from there, right? All of you must be knowing it. Science starts from questioning. I request all my colleagues, don't stop students while asking a nonsense question. Okay? So nonsense question actually leads to very great discovery. So, but see, some of the questions that students are asking, we may not get the answers, but the question is a question. So I suggest all the students to always question what you are doing. Most of the students, they may not be knowing, when you come for the interview, either for PhD or a faculty position or a scientist position, the interview board members, they don't want to check your knowledge or your depth of knowledge or width of the knowledge. What we would like to know is your sincerity. And also, whether you know what you are saying. Whether you know what you are saying. So that means you should know what you are doing. In small experiments in your laboratory, when you start doing certain things, you should know why you are doing it, for what you are doing it, and what is the use of it. I keep telling to my students and also my colleagues also, if you do not know, it's not a mistake. If you do not know, it's not a mistake. If you do not want to learn, that is the blunder. You should learn. Nobody borns like a Solomon, people say that, right? Nobody with borns with the knowledge. But only thing is you have to acquire, you have to read, you have to develop. So such a kind of workshops, this is giving a platform for the students, to learn and question. And this kind of, this is a completely different from that of the regular classes. In the regular class, it's only one way. A lecture comes and delivers talks and goes. But in the workshop, it's a hands-on workshop where he will be given an opportunity to interact with the speaker or a resource person or an expert. So this is up to you how much you are going to benefit out of it. All the people, those who are coming here, they will also be having tea and snacks with you. So that indicates tea, snacks and lunch. It's not that for sake, but they are joining only to interact with the students. So there are students actually, they are very silent. All the students will be having a starting trouble. They don't ask question. If somebody starts asking, then second one, third one, then there's no end for it. So there will be some students, especially they don't even ask the questions. It's a kind of inhibition. Especially students coming from the rural place will have such a kind of attitude. But this kind of workshop will give a way to the students to interact with the resource persons. Go out, ask them. So normally students will feel that whether my question is right or wrong, people may laugh at us, if this may be a foolish question and all. But don't bother about that. Question is a question. That means you do not know. Once you do not know, you don't have to hesitate. Even today, I have 8 PhD students in my lab. I ask them if I have any doubt. I don't hesitate to learn from the students. Because knowledge is a ocean, nobody can have complete knowledge of everything. So therefore, to learn, don't hesitate. To ask a question, don't hesitate. Today or now or never. If you don't ask now, you will never be able to learn certain things. That means, especially the students, if you miss a bus, you missed it forever. If you take the next bus, that is the second bus, not the first bus. So when you get an opportunity to ask the question, to learn what you are doing, why you are doing. Even after completion of the workshop for 3 days, when you are claiming that you have attended the workshop in the interview, they will ask the question, what did you learn? So that means you should learn. Whatever you are claiming in your CV, you should know what you are claiming it. If you do not know that one, if you are not serious about that, don't claim it. Okay, so once again coming back to this one, so I'm a biologist, so I really miss the physics and chemistry and mathematics because largely I'm afraid of mathematics. So, but physics is a really fascinating subject. When Professor Alok presented that one, I wish I should have seen that those asteroids that seems they are having once in a year, they are having a. So that day I think eclipse that you are showing to the students and all. So I would like to see next time if there is an opportunity for me. Always it's a fascinating. So you people have an opportunity to see and investigate what is happening in the sky or in the space, or so maybe inner core of the sun where the L1 is going to do that one. You will have an opportunity and say, so do it. And basically, Indians are very good at mathematics, physics, and got the Nobel Prizes in that only, basically. So you try to learn, use that, because we do not know how it is. Genetically, we were inherited. So please make use of that one and learn something out of this workshop, interact with the faculty, visit the university. Hope you are all staying in the university guest house or somewhere near. Visit the department, visit the universities, and I wish you should come back again for different things. So pass on a good message across the place where you have been going back. I wish you all best of luck, and I congratulate the organizers of this workshop, so Professor Alok and also Professor Lata. So, and also there are few more are actually involved in this one. ARIES, Aryabhatta Research Institute of Observational Science, and also Inter-University Center for the Astronomy and Astrophysics. I thank the speakers, those who are here, especially Professor Shankar Subramanian, so who has been the instrumental, along with our colleagues, to be here to organize this workshop. I thank on behalf of the university. I wish you, sir, please do keep coming and do activities with our faculty members. I once again thank the organizers for inviting me. I wish you all best of luck. Thank you.
So we now thank you very much, sir, Professor Vice Chancellor, for giving very encouraging words, and who has been very supportive of this initiative right from the beginning. And thank you very much for your address. We now have the privilege of hearing from our today's guest of honor, Professor K. Shankar Subramanian, Head of the Space and Astronomy Group at ISRO, URSE, Bangalore. So let me give you a very brief introduction about the guest of honor. Professor Shankar Subramanian, his outstanding contributions span solar physics, optics, instrumentation, and he has been key scientist in several ISRO missions like AstroSat and Chandrayaan, and currently he serves as the principal scientist of the Aditya-L1 mission, in addition to being the principal investigator of one of its payloads. So we are truly honored to invite him, and may I request you, sir, to kindly address the gathering about today's workshop.
Yeah, good morning to all of you. Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor and Patron, Pondicherry University, Head of the Department of Physics, sir, here on the dais, and my colleague Lada. I know her from our Indian Institute of Astrophysics PhD program time itself. And of course, the faculties from Pondicherry University and the students come to attend this workshop across the nation. I give you a warm welcome to all of you, and just to inform you that I think this week is a special week, not only for us, it is for the whole space. It's called as a Space Week. Usually October 4th to 10 is celebrated as a Space Week, and the theme for this year's Space Week is Living in Space. And it's an opportune time for us to learn. To live in space, you also need to know about the space. So Aditya-L1 is one observatory in space, will tell us about the space conditions. You call it as a weather in Earth, we call that as a space weather. So anybody to go and live in space, we also need to know what are the hazards in the space, and Aditya-L1 is going to address some aspects of the hazardous nature in the space. And being at L1, which is the point between the sun and the Earth, provides us an advanced information before these hazards reaches to the Earth. So some of the lectures you would hear from many of our colleagues will address some aspects of this, how to extract these informations from the data which is available publicly to anybody across the globe to look at this information. And this, as you know, this is the 11th workshop for the students, and we also conducted one workshop for the teachers in Mumbai last year. This is only, just to tell you that the science mission is not only in sending the mission and collecting the data. It also requires, training the students and encouraging them to take up a research-oriented career so that we flourish in the science program in the longer future. So the Aditya-L1 Support Cell Workshop is basically meant to train you guys and also teach you some aspects of the solar as well as the heliophysics, so that you would take at appropriate time a career in the solar and heliophysics environment. Coming back to Aditya-L1, if you go back in time, we started this mission sometime in early 2006, actually, to name it. So that was the time when I joined ISRO. There was a vision document created by Astronomical Society of India, ASI, in 2004. One of the vision proposed in that document was having a coronagraph instruments to look at study the solar corona. Previous to that mission, we had a mission called SOHO. SOHO had a coronagraph to cover all the way from the edge of the solar disk to all the way up to something like 30-40 solar radii. This is only to see the kind of plasma which is getting ejected from the sun and track them to something like a 40 solar radii. And from there, one can even forecast, because that is a type of distance you need before the plasma attains a terminal velocity, so that you can predict when that is going to reach to the Earth from the terminal velocity, and knowing the distance from where it is coming from. However, one of the instruments on SOHO, it's a C1 instrument, didn't function after 6 months. It failed, and we never had a data from the inner coronal region. So when we conceived at that time, this is an area where there's a lot of missing data. Even today, there's a lot of missing data. So Aditya-L1, Aditya initially conceived is to look at the lower coronal regions with a high cadence imaging instruments. So that time it was called as Aditya-1, thinking that we will have a series of missions, and it is conceived as a low Earth orbiting observatory. This was funded, formally approved sometime in 2008, and the plan was to fly sometime in 2013. Of course, we are too naive to predict that we'll be able to build an instrument in 5 years time scale. And now we know it's not an easy task to build a space instruments in very short time scales. And so Professor U.R. Rao, who was the science person behind all our science missions from ISRO, reviewed the progress in 2011. I hope my voice is audible to most of you. So he was reviewing the VLC, the Aditya-L1 mission sometime in 2011. And he realized that it's still a long way to go. And that is a time where the new thought of going to L1 came to his mind. And then we started, he started advocating us, why not you think of going to L1, not only with only a single payload. We'll also try to enable the whole country to contribute to this mission. And opened up an announcement of opportunity to the whole nation to build additional instruments which can fly in Aditya-L1 to go to the Sun-Earth Lagrangian L1 points. The reason why we went to L1 for this mission, though it is not needed for remote sensing observations, but it is required for the in situ observations, because the in situ, the particles and magnetic fields, when they propagate from the sun to the earth, and when it sees the earth's magnetosphere, the particles characteristics gets modified by the earth's magnetic field. You know that the plasma interacts with the magnetic field, and the magnetic field from the sun will also interact with the earth's magnetic field, and hence modifying the whole structure of what is coming from the sun. So if you want to capture the pristine nature of the source from the sun, you have to go out of the magnetospheric region. That is how L1 was proposed, and L1 being at the Sun-Earth line of sight, it also gives you an additional information before the particles, the plasma and the magnetic field reaches to the Earth. Almost like 45 minutes and above is the time what you gain if you are able to sample them at the L1 point. So that's how Aditya-L1 was conceived in 2013. It was fully funded. Again, that time we thought we will be able to finish it by 2020, but unfortunately 2020 we had this COVID situation, so many of the actual integrations, actual payload characterization could not happen in the laboratory and got shifted to another 2 to 3 years. 2023 we launched, and 2024 January 6th is when the Aditya-L1 was placed in the Sun-Earth Lagrangian L1 point. And L1 is what we call imaginary point, where the gravitational pull of Earth and the gravitational pull of Sun gets cancelled, and still satellite cannot stay in that position. So we have to have a orbital angular momentum which compensates for any of the disturbances which is coming from the at the L1 point, stationary orbit. And so that's how the Aditya-L1 is orbiting around the L1 halo orbit points. And it's the typical orbit period is about 6 months. So we have completed by now about two and a half orbits around L1. And January 6th, 2024 is when 2025 is when we release the data to the public. The data from Aditya-L1 was released to the whole community, not only national level, internationally it is now open for anybody to download the data and start looking at the data. So we have more than 6-7 months of data, which is continuously going. And I'm happy to say that this data is available roughly 2 days from the day of observation. So I don't think you will see any observatories in the world gives you a data, the science quality data, in this short time scale. So that's one great thing what we could do it so that you get a hot cake in front of you for you to cut and eat. We have now more than 2,000 plus users registered in our Pradhan website. The hands-on people will tell you how to log into Pradhan website and try to download the data. We have more than 2,000 plus people, not only our own country people, around the globe who is accessing the data and providing informations as well as the science quality publications from Aditya-L1 mission. So I hope this 3 days of exercise, with the first day mostly concentrating on providing you informations about each of the payloads, and starting from maybe late evening today to the next 2 days, you will have some problem statements where you can work towards attacking the problem. And we don't expect you to solve the problem in 2 days, but you will give a fair amount of knowledge of how to attack, how to define a problem, how to get a line of attack of the problem, and how to go towards the solution of the problem. And that is how the training for your PhD program. So most of your master's people who wants to get into the PhD, this is a good training program for you to define a problem, get a right line of attack of the problem, and get all the skills needed for you to attack the problem and try to solve the problem. I hope you will have a good time in the next 3 days. Make use of it, as the Vice Chancellor told you. This is the right opportunity for you to ask questions, learn, and go back and enjoy the Aditya-L1 data. Thank you.
So as we come close to this inaugural session, and it is my pleasant duty to do so, the idea of hosting this workshop in Pondicherry University actually took root when I had attended the regional astronomers meet, which happened in QSAT, Cochin University, a few months ago, maybe about a year ago. So there, my colleagues had actually requested me. There has no such workshop been organized in the Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry region of late. So it was proposed, why don't I take take this chance and try to organize it here. So I volunteered because my main interest was our astrophysics students, and the students of this region should also be exposed to this is a very unique opportunity, because it brings science from India's first solar mission directly into the classrooms and in terms of projects. So it's actually a source of pride for all of us, and our students should be exposed to such opportunity. So I would like to present my vote of thanks now. So first and foremost, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Prakash Babu, who has been enthusiastic about the workshop right from the time it was first proposed. His encouragement, his timely approval, and his support from his office ensured that the necessary administrative and financial processes were completed very smoothly. And thank you, sir, for making it possible for us to host this event in our university. I would like to thank to the Indian Space Research Organization for funding and supporting this workshop. So this support means a great deal to us and our students, as it also reflects ISRO's continued commitment to capacity building and scientific outreach across the country. And we are grateful to our Dean, Professor Shivnath Deb, for his unconditional support throughout, for speeding up all the administrative approvals and taking personal interest in ensuring that everything moved forward without any delay. So I would like to thank him. Our thanks also goes to all the administrative and support sections of the university, the administration, the assistant and deputy registrars, the PRO section for covering this event, the electrical section for excellent arrangements in the seminar hall, the planning and development section, the registrar's office, the finance section for ensuring the smooth and timely release of the funds. So a special word of appreciation for our local organizing committee from our department and our teamwork together with them, constant coordination and willingness to step ahead whenever needed have been instrumental in bringing this event to life. My heartfelt thanks to all our faculty colleagues of the department for their cooperation, encouragement and moral support. Whether in adjusting the academic schedules or sharing the responsibilities, they have been with us throughout. We acknowledge the guest house and the CCC staff for handling accommodation and food arrangements with efficiency, and the Office of the Security Officer and security personnel at the gate for their support throughout. My vote of thanks would be incomplete without mentioning our student volunteer team who have done a truly outstanding job. So despite their regular classes and academic workload, they came forward with great enthusiasm and worked tirelessly and often much late into the night, so to ensure every detail was taken care of. So I really convey my thanks to the student community, the students who have been here. So thank you all again, and let's look forward for the 3 exciting days of learning. Thank you.